Alright, Big Dawgs up. This Coach Roll with Five Star Linemen Academy with Big Dawg Football. We're waiting about a minute here. We're talking about Big Dogs get logged on. And we're going to have a little chalk talk. We're going to have a little what I call trench talk. So, give it about another minute setting up here. Hopefully everybody having a great Sunday. I just finished training a couple of my big dogs. And it's all, they're looking pretty good. Techniques look pretty good. Always training every single day. Making sure we get that work in, man. We don't get no days off. Even if it's sometimes just a walkthrough, kind of thing, we're always making sure we get better. So waiting on everybody to get logged in here, and we're gonna get going. Really excited about today. First actual live stream. And we're excited about it at Five Star Linemen Academy. Really excited about it, being able to open up to the Five Star Lineman community, the Big Dog community, and be able to touch people and just try to get better every single day. So, probably wait about another 30 seconds here. We got some questions? Okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. What's up? This is Coach Roll at Five Star Linemen Academy with Big Dawg Football. And one of the sole purposes of me being here right now today is to say thank you to all of the subscribers, all of the support that we have from not just, in America, but even outside, international support that we get. I'm getting all kind of positive feedback from, Mexico and Australia and Croatia and Germany, Canada, here in the United States, Brazil, China even. People that's watching my video that appreciate the videos and the things that we do, and I'm appreciative, and I'm glad that it's helping. That's our sole purpose. Our sole purpose is to make sure that people get better, and that you can be the best pass rusher, the best defensive lineman you could be. That's the most important thing. And while I'm at it, I want to say this publicly because a lot of people come to me and say, Coach Roll, Big Dog, do you only train five-star linemen? That is a huge no. Okay, the reason why we call our business Five Star Linemen Academy is because there are 5 goals and there are 5 things that we are trying to accomplish, and there are 5 things that we're trying to make sure that our athletes progress on. The first star is to teach the mind, train the body, the second star, mold the characters, the third, strengthen the spirit and progress the player. That's why we call it Five Star Linemen Academy. It's not because we only try and train some of the best linemen in the world. It's because we want to make you one of the best linemen in the country. That's why we call it that, Five Star Linemen Academy. We take people that's no star, 1 star, and we make them into five-star lineman athletes, defensive linemen. That's our goal. And Dawg, Big Dawg, D-A-W-G. It's not D-O-G for us, it's D-A-W-G, which stands for Driven Attitude Wills Greatness. And that's what our whole objective is. That's our mentality. A lot of times we focus a lot on the technique, which is important. We focus a lot on a lot of different things. However, it's that attitude, that driven attitude that becomes the ignition that makes the vehicle work together. Think about a car and how the car has all of the parts in place, has the wheels, the axles, the pistons, it has everything that it needs, the engine. However, you have to ignite that vehicle. And once you ignite that vehicle, then that vehicle becomes a functioning vessel. Then it does what it's designed to do. Well, learning the technique and learning the skill is just like that vehicle. Everything is in place, but that driven attitude is what you need to ignite everything in you to be the best player you can be. Just because you know the technique and you know what you need to know and you've adapted the skill does not mean you're ready. You're ready when you have the driven attitude, when you are a dog, when you have a driven attitude that will now will you into greatness, and that's what's important about that, and that's why I call, or I've been called Big Dawg. That's what it stands for, okay? So I'm excited about today, and I'm here too because I want to say thank you. Over 10,000 subscribers of people all over the world that are subscribed to the channel, and you all are sure, you make sure that you comment and say thank you, and you say, Coach, I'm helping, I'm starting now, I've got more sacks this year, more TFLs, more plays. I really appreciate the comments. We do read those comments, and we're grateful for the 10,000 plus subscribers we now have, thanks to you and your support. So we want to pay that back to you and we want to be here live to you to answer any questions that you may have. All right, let's look and see if we have any questions. Let's go from there. All right, here we go. Okay, so our first question is, how do you beat cut blocks from an offensive lineman? Okay. So the question, how do you beat a cut block? So when you are lined up in front of somebody, Big Dog, and you are in a 0 technique, 1 technique, 2, does not matter where you are. You have to remember this. Your alignment tells you your assignment. Your alignment tells you your assignment. So for example, let's say we have a center here and we have a nose tackle, and for me, I call this a 1. Some people may call this a shade, whatever, okay? However, my alignment tells me my assignment. My assignment is to make sure that I focus, POA. POA means point of attack. My alignment is telling me my assignment, my point of attack. If I'm playing a nose tackle and this is the center, and I'm looking at that shade, or I'm looking at that 1, and I'm seeing the shoulder go down towards my foot or my knee or whatever they're taught to do, cut at the hip, cut at the knee, I should see my point of attack go down. Now, the most important thing is you got to play with your hands. Sometimes we have issues with dealing with cut blocks because our hands are behind our head and our eyes are closed at contact, and we don't see what that guy in front of us is doing, right? And I tell all of my dogs, all of my linemen, play elbow deep. You got to play elbow deep. You got to make sure that your hands out in front of you so that your hands are going to make contact with your point of attack, and you're going to feel him going down, okay? Now, we can't just dive out there without our hands. In other words, he's going to cut you because you don't have hands out there. You don't have control. You've got to play with your hands first. Your hands have to be in front of you. You got to play elbows deep, not wrist deep, not fingers deep. I need separation. I got to play with a flat back at contact. If you're playing in flat back at contact, which brings us great impact, you're going to feel that center go down on you. You're going to easily jam him into the earth, jam him down. Now, once you put him down, you got to make sure that you shed yourself in the gap. Because if you get cut blocked, a couple things might be happening. One, they're trying to run a zone or a stretch to that way. So if this guy, this center, comes here and tries to cut you, that means he's cutting you off. So I've got to push him down, playing with gut separation, flat back at contact, playing elbows deep. I put him in the ground, and I make sure I put my hat and hip in the gap. Now that my hat and hip is in the gap, now anything coming through that gap is mine, okay? Now, if he's cutting you, another reason why this center or whoever might be cutting you is because they may be trying to cut you down so that they can deliver any kind of slants behind you or any kind of drags or anything coming right behind you. So they want to cut you down so that that quarterback can deliver that ball. Well, as soon as that guy cuts you, be ready to get your hands back up because the ball might be coming. Okay, a ball might be coming if it's a pass. If it's a run, it means he's trying to cut you off. So I said cut block, cut him off. They're trying to cut you off from going someplace. You got to put your hands down, work flat. That's why I have this line here. Work flat on the line of scrimmage and be ready to attack your gap, okay? But you can't play a cut block if you're playing too high. If you're trying to peek over the top and you're not focusing on your point of attack, then you won't see him attack. You won't see him attack if you're not focusing on your point of attack. So it's important to focus your eyes on your point of attack. Know that your alignment is your assignment, and you're going to see that 1 or that shade go down to try to cut you off. Put your hands on him, put him down in the earth, sit him down, set him down, shed him, attack your gap, or put him down, and the quarterback has the ball, be ready to get your hands in the air and back that ball down. Most of the time, that's what's going on. And that's how I would deal with a cut block. Okay, let's look at our next question. Cool, I got hello from Sweden. What's up, Big Dog? That's pretty cool. What's up, Coach? What's happening, man? What's up, what's up, what's up? I love it. Sean, what's up, Sean? All right, Here's a question: is it harder to get noticed by D1 colleges if you play a 3A football? That's a good question. You know, to be honest, colleges are looking for, out of high school, colleges are looking for athletes. I've had the opportunity to speak with a lot of different coaches, you know, across the country to ask that same question. What are you looking for? And honestly, guys are like, man, coach, I'm not that tall, you know, I'm not that big and all that. And it bothers me when guys come to me and say, well, coach, I'm 6'6", I'm 6'5". I'm like, okay, you're telling me how tall you are, but that's, as a D-line coach, you're only telling me the potential you have of how long to play, right? It's not about how tall you are, it's about how long you can play. Big dog, remember that. It's not about how tall you are. Okay? This guy is, you know, you got this guy here, and he's 6'5". Okay? Well, that doesn't matter really to me. I want to see how long you can play. Okay? To me, that's important. If you're playing here 6'5" long, you have the potential to be an excellent player. You're 6'5" tall, all you're telling me is I can bat balls down. So I've seen guys that are, you know, 6 feet that play like they're 6'5". I've seen guys that's 5'11" that play like they're over 6 feet, 6'5", 7 feet, because they're playing with long arms and with great leverage. So, question is, coach, how can I get noticed by, you know, a bigger college? Your skill, man. Your skill and your attitude. I just went to West LA College, and I went to a consultation there. Shout out to those guys in LA. And I got a chance to look at those guys. This is junior college school. However, I looked in their eyes and I saw that they were hungry. These guys wanted what a lot of guys didn't have. They want for a scholarship. They want the opportunity to play on the next level. And when I looked at them as I was speaking with them, I felt like I was at home because I saw a lot of guys that were hungry and thirsty in their eye. I saw it. I looked into their soul and I saw that they wanted it. They wanted to be great. And coaches are going to see that. And that's the kind of thing that's going to show up on the football field and on film. Right? However, I've also went to Division I schools and I've seen guys with full scholarships that didn't have that hunger and that passion to be great because they had, I don't know what it was, maybe they had full scholarships, they felt like they were good, they arrived or whatever, but then I saw those guys that didn't have it, you know. So really, I played at the University of Florida in college, right? Big time school, D1 school, shout out to my Gators. And we had guys who were not on scholarship, and we had guys that transferred from junior colleges that ended up starting because those guys came in and those guys played hard and they wanted to be successful. So a lot of times when I'm watching film from junior colleges, you know, Division III, Division II, or whatever, and I'm watching this film, I'm looking at skill. I'm looking at skill. I'm looking at his leverage. I'm looking at his hands, his feet. I'm looking at his hip mechanics. I'm looking to see if he knows what he's doing. You know, if he's a tactician in the trenches. I'm looking to see if he's skilled at his craft. And I want to know if he just wants to get better. A lot of times those guys really show up and show out when they get their opportunity, as opposed to compromising, or as opposed to, that's not the right word, settling, as opposed to being happy with where they are, or content, as opposed to being content and saying, I've arrived. Be careful, those guys are hungry and those guys are ready to play. And I've seen guys on the NFL level that didn't get drafted. We've seen that. A lot of us have seen this, that had a point to prove, that came from smaller colleges, and they want to show the world they can play with the best of them. Watch out for those guys that are hungry. Remember, a driven attitude. And if you want to replace attitude, put the word appetite. A driven appetite is what will will a guy to be great. That's the thing. Don't worry about 3, 2, 1, or whatever. All you want is an opportunity. Once you get an opportunity, you show them what you can do. And that's why it's in the preparation. Division I, Division II, Division III. To me, it does not matter. You get your skills up, you get your game up, and you stay hungry, and somebody will take notice of you for sure. That's my answer to that question. Okay? All right. Do we have another question here? Oh, that's a good one. I got this question here. What are the first steps to becoming a good middle linebacker? That's a long question for me to answer, but I'll try to answer it a short version. First of all, it's hard to be a great middle linebacker without a great nose tackle. Sorry, I'm a D lineman, so I'm gonna get shout out to my nose. When you have a great nose that can, as we all say, command a double team, you got a Roman backer. You got a nose that can get scooped and sealed, and the guard can just climb. Not saying you can't be great, but you got a guard that you got to deal with. Now you got to know how to play with your hands and put that guy in the gap. So for starters, you better have a great relationship with your defensive line, because when those guys do their job and they do everything they're supposed to do, that's where you see legendary backers. Okay, it's a team sport. When those dogs up front do their job, you got a Roman backer. That's the first thing that's really important. But aside from that, your hands and your feet. I work with linebackers as well, and sometimes I get my linebacker and they're not as skillful with their hands as a defensive lineman, as far as knowing what the point of attack is, knowing how to punch with their hands, knowing how to also flip their hips, knowing how to use their body, knowing how to play with good leverage. And I have a video on Big Dawg Football that talks about the 4 points of leverage. They don't necessarily all the time know how to use their hand. They want to flip, they want to hit with their shoulder and things like that, always quick swim over, and they're not skillful with their hands. So when I get my linebackers, I train them like they're a pass rusher, like they're a defensive end, and I show them how their hands could be a weapon. So playing with good hands, playing with great leverage, playing with great feet is really huge, because you can know what the play is going to be. You can look at personnel. When I say personnel, I'm saying, all right, 22 personnel, that's 2 backs, 2 tight ends. 21 personnel, that's 2 backs, 1 tight end. You can look at the personnel and you can know what the play is going to be. But watch this. The real situation is, what do you do when you get tight to the fight? Now, as soon as that offensive lineman climbs to you, do you know what to do? As soon as that offensive lineman climbs to you, do you know what to do? What are you saying, Coach? Do you know where to strike him, how to strike him? Do you know where your feet should be when you strike him? If you had the blitz, do you know how to attack him and use your inside hand and maybe do an LA or a swat or a stuttering club counter, ole? Do you know what to do when you get tight to the fight? And so for me as a linebacker, yes, you got to have great D linemen. Yes, you have to know how to read the triangle, what they call the triangle, the 2 guards in the backfield. You got to know how to look at those guards and read the letter. When I say letter, I'm talking about read the letter. Where's that guard? Where's that guard going? And you have to know, though, that when the pedal hits the metal, when you get to the offensive lineman, you got to know what to do when he gets on you. You got to know how now to use your hands and use them as a weapon. So there are different phases to it. There's the pre-snap. You're looking at offenses. You know what they're going to run. You have a hunch as to what they're going to do. You got your dogs in front of you that you can trust. They're going to do their job, and so that you can roam and make plays. But boy, when it's time to hit an offensive lineman, when it's time to tackle, you know what to do. You have the skill to execute what needs to happen. And so there are a lot of phases to be a great linebacker. However, I don't, in my opinion, can't be that great without a great D-line. Okay? And vice versa. You need a good linebacker to be a great D-lineman. They do help us. We help each other. So I think that's important. Okay? All right. Let's get to my next question. How do you play a nose tackle in a 4-3? How do you play a nose tackle in a 4-3? Okay. Let's draw this up. So right now, I'm just going to drop my nose guy. So, well, let's say you got a tight end here. So when we played 4-3 in college, we had our 3 technique here, we had our nose tackle here, we had our defensive end. You got our nose, and obviously you had the backers right in there with the bubble. Okay. So I'm assuming you're saying, Big Dawg, right? You're asking me, Coach, how do I play nose tackle in a 4-3 defense? Okay. Now, what's really important is, remember, your alignment is your assignment. Okay. So you have to know, where am I aligned? Now, question for you, Big Dawg, I want you to think about this. In this 4-3, does your coach have you in a 1? Does your coach have you in a 2I? I don't know where he has you. This is still 4-3 with your 3 backers here, but that does matter, because if you're on a 2I, then your POA your point of attack is the inside shoulder of the guard, then that's what you are attacking. If you're in a 1, then your POA is the outside shoulder of the center. That's important. Now, coach, what does that matter? That matters because if I am in a 2-eye, start with the stance, because it always starts with your stance. If I'm in a 2-eye, what stance must I be in versus the run? The answer is man-hand stance. We want to be in a man-hand stance. Okay, I know some coaches teach wherever the ball is, that's where you put your hand. And that works for you, but for my dogs, I want them to attack. I want them to step toe to target. I want them to attack their alignment or their assignment. That's what I want. So if I am this nose tackle right now, and I'm in a 2-eye, my right hand is down, okay? Now, my right hand is going to, my man hand, I'm to that man, hand to the man. My man hand stance is going to tell me where I'm stepping. I'm going to step to my hand, okay? I'm going to make sure my foot's behind my knee at a 45 degree. That way I'm playing at 45 drive, okay? I'm playing underneath this guy. I'm playing lower than him. And remember from my last comment, I'm elbows deep. So this is going to tell me in a 2-eye that I'm going to step to the man so I can deliver a blow. Now, do not ever practice only taking one step. Okay, try not to do that. In my opinion, your feet work in a pulse. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Your feet have to work together. So if I'm here, for example, I am hands, feet. Now, the reason why we want that, okay, think about this for a second. In my right hand stance, my left foot is up. Now, that's perfect because by my left foot being up, I'm ready to work that gap. Okay? My left foot is up, so I'm ready to work that gap, which is to my left. If my right foot is up and my left foot is back, I'm opening myself up for a double by that center, and I got myself open like this, and he can blast me here and wash me out. Well, if my left foot was up, I can actually get what I call key skin and get my back to that center and split that double team because I have proper foot placement. And so always work on hands, feet. Make sure that my work foot on my gap foot is in the gap. So if that center comes down, I can deal with that down block or I can deal with that double. Okay, that's the first thing, stance. But if you're playing a 1 technique, or what some coordinators call or defenses call a shade, then what stance am I in? I'm not in a right hand stance no more. Okay, a right hand stance in this situation is called what I call a gap stance. Gap hand down. I don't want gap hand down versus the run. I want man hand down. So therefore, I'm putting my left hand down so that I can step to the man. That's huge. A lot of times we don't realize that it starts with our stance. If we're not in the right stance, we're not going to take the right step. Okay? If we're not in the right stance, we're not going to take the right step. So we have to make sure that by us being in the right stance, right away, right there, we're setting ourselves up for success because we're in the right stance. Okay? Now, as a nose guard, wherever you're lined up, your responsibility is the same. It's that A gap. Okay? And you want to destroy either one of those guys so much so that you're commanding that double team, like I just mentioned, and you got a Roman backer. Yes, he can come down and all that stuff. They can down, kick out, get all kind of offensive plays that we can't help. But I tell you what, I don't care what offensive play you draw up. There's no offensive play, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's no offensive play designed for an offensive lineman to be set back a yard. I can't think of any. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about, somebody leaving because this guy's going to get trapped. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this big dog nose tackle right here. Punches this guy right here on the run and sets that center back. Okay? I can't think of any offense designed for that. So when you're talking about being a great nose tackle in a 4-3 defense, you talk about, first of all, coach, what's my alignment? Am I in a 1 shade or am I in a 2-eye? Either way, whoever is in front of me, whatever my alignment is, that's my assignment. And my assignment, my point of attack is that shoulder, and I'm blowing him up. I'm setting him back a yard because there is no offense that's going to work with a guy being set back a yard. Now, once you do that, watch this, you just put these guys on a whole different level. Even if they wanted to double team, you just helped yourself out because you made that double team a little bit more challenging because you sat that guy back and you sat him down. So once we get past the stance and the start part of playing nose tackle or D tackle or whatever, the next thing we talk about is shock and sit. Shock and sit. Now I'm not talking about Big Dog, you sitting down. I'm talking about you sitting him down. Okay? Now specifically what I'm talking about when I say sit him down, I'm talking about making sure that when you punch that center or whoever you're lined up on, that you want to punch him vertical. Now when people sit down, their head is over their hip, right? That's what you want. You want to be at 45 drive, and you want to sit this guy down with his head over his hips. Now his weight distribution is on his heels, and he can't help but go back. When you do that, you've done a lot of great things already. Now it's different between making a tackle and making a play. You might not have made the tackle yet. That backer might make that tackle, but boy, did you make the play, Big Dog. You made the play because now you got this linebacker running downhill, and you got this running back trying to bounce and figure out where he's going to cut because you just sat him back. You shocked and sat him down, and you set him back, and now a lot of great things are going to happen. Double, he's trying to pull, he's trying to come around, buck sweep, those guys are trying to pull. How is this guy going to pull and you sitting this center down? A lot of great things are going to happen when you just focus on not necessarily working laterally, unless that's what the coach wants you to do. I never say go against your coach. But man, if you begin to set these guys down, shock and sit them down a yard, at least you've already done a good thing. Is it over? No, it's not over, because good dogs have a nose for the ball. But primarily, you're shocking and sitting him down. You're commanding a double team because the center can't handle you on his own, and now they got to pick their poison. Do we double the nose and free up the back, or do we try to climb and scoop, but we still can't deal with that nose because he's a dog, and now we got this guy pretty much dominating the center and killing us at the line of scrimmage. You got to pick who you want to. You got to pick your poison. Who do you want to block? You want to double the nose, or you want to go single with the nose? But let me tell you something, Big Dog. If you got a one-on-one block, you got to win that. You have to win one-on-one blocks. So there's a lot to this answer, but I tell you, to keep it simple, know your alignment, know your assignment, because your alignment is your assignment. Look at your point of attack. Read the L of the guy in front of you, okay? Because I'm the center. Is he going here? Is he going here? Is he coming at me? Attack your point of attack, and always set him back, okay? Always try to knock those guys back, and then from there, a lot of good things are going to happen. Now, this discussion can go really long, because now we're talking about possibly the double team. We're talking about that guy trying to pull. We're talking about this guy trying to scoop me, or whatever the case may be. But I tell you this, when you're playing with good hands and you're playing with a flat back, because flat back at contact brings great impact, whatever he was trying to do, he may not even get a chance to do, because you're not watching football, you're playing football. So that's important. Don't watch it, play it. Attack that guy in front of you, shoot out your hips, lock him out elbows deep, set him back a yard, and let your instincts take over from there. Find the ball, make a play. Okay, so that's my short answer for how to play nose tackle in a 4-3 defense, okay? My three techniques, most of the time, you may get a double here, but sometimes if there is no tight end, hey, you may be solo. You got to win that, depending on what's going on. Okay, next question. Good question. Tips for a DN outside contain. How do you set a good edge? Okay, those are pretty much similar questions. Good questions, guys. Okay, so tips for a defensive end and contain. Big Dog, if you can't contain, you can't play end. you have to be able to contain. That's huge as an end, you know. So this is the first thing that I will ask you, because it's not a straight shot answer. It can be. But the question for me would be, first of all, so now we're looking here, let me erase this so we're not confused. So my question to you would be, are you in a 2-point stance or are you in a 3-point stance? That's an important question, because that changes your feet mechanics. Okay, that changes your feet mechanics. And again, I have videos on this on BigDawgFootball.com. that talk about the difference with my feet in a 3-point stance or my feet in a 2-point stance, okay? But let me just keep this very simple, okay? Foot leverage. Foot leverage, hand leverage, foot leverage, hand leverage, gap leverage. Leverage is important. People say, what does leverage matter? Man, leverage is extremely important. Okay, what am I talking about? All right, watch this. So what I'm saying, you're the end, and your job is to have contain. Your job is that you are here and you turn everything inside. Now, I'm not saying go, this does not mean 5 yards upfield. You don't have contain. Just because you're outside does not mean you have contain. Because if you go that deep, now this is pretty important, you go that deep, 5 yards upfield on a run, and it offensive tackles with you here, mind you, this guard has maybe blocked down or something like that, so maybe he's here. You think you have contained. That running back didn't even have to cut. He's still running downhill as if the offensive tackle was inside. See, I didn't change that line. That line is the same. Okay? He's here. You lost your leverage. He has you kind of reached here, but that line changed. So what I'm saying is, for you to go deep and say, Coach, look, I got contained, and you're like 5 yards vertical, you're going this deep. That's, to me, that's still not contained. That's not contained, okay? That doesn't work that way. So, question for you is, are you in a 3-point stance or are you in a 2-point stance? Okay, that's important. I would love to know that answer because then that's going to tell me how you play this. So, let's say we're in a 2-point stance. Oh, 3-point stance. Okay, let's tell you what, let's do 3-point stance first. All right. If you're in a 3-point stance, I probably would say, and this is up to the coach where he wants you. He may say, all right, I want your inside foot. Let's say this is the tackle's outside foot. And he may say, I want your inside foot on his outside foot, right? So let's say that's his left foot, and that's my left foot, and this is my right foot. I know it's a little weird little drawing, but let's say he wants you right there. Okay, something like that. Now listen, and this is you, Big Dog. All right, this is you, and those for your feet. So you're like this. First of all, gotta be in your man hand stance. That's the man inside of you. You gotta put your left hand down. Now, why left hand down? Because you want your striker up and ready. All right. If I'm in my gap hand stance and I'm trying to keep contained, I'm gonna step towards the gap. Because remember, we always step towards our hand first. I'm gonna step towards the gap. Okay, but my striker is inside. Now, the worst thing that can happen to you as a defensive end is that you get reached. That's really bad. Okay, you cannot get reached. When I played in as well, when I got reached, like you're saying, I lost contain. Now, what causes a guy to reach you? How can we lose contain? Let's look at this for a second, right? First of all, make sure you're in the right stance. Man-hand stance. And that's where the coach wants you. That's totally fine. I kind of recommend that. I wouldn't want my guys too wide anyway, then they're just going to kick you out. So I do like the idea of making sure that our feet, I wouldn't go to his crotch. I think that's too deep inside as an end, but I would definitely be to his foot or a little outside of his foot to make sure I can keep contained. Now what causes, let me just erase all of this stuff, what causes a guy to get reached and what causes the end to lose contain? So let's say this is the offensive tackle. And let's say this is the defensive end, all right? This is my nose, that's his nose. We are nose to nose. Now, at this point, Big Dog, you have lost gap leverage. Where is your gap? Your gap is over here, right? That's the C gap. You're supposed to have contained. Well, right now, you guys are nose to nose. You are foot to foot. You lost your gap leverage. So the question is then, how is it that we line up outside, right? His nose and my nose is here, but we find ourselves somehow, after taking a couple steps, we find ourselves head up on that guy. Okay? That's how we lose contain. When I coach my offensive tackles, I tell my offensive tackles when it's time to reach somebody, I tell them to get their outside shoulder to his outside shoulder. How do we as a defensive end allow this guy to do that? Partly because we're not using our hands. Okay, look, if I punch that chest plate, okay, I'm the offensive lineman, all right, offensive tackle, and I punch this side of that chest plate, is it possible for me to actually get around you to seal you outside your chest plate, all right, or outside your hip and shoulder? It's very difficult if I punch this side of him and I lock that out, right, and I'm working to keep contained, my hat and hip is in the gap. It's very difficult for a guy to reach you and he can't get around you, all right? If you ever want to affect a guy's hip and foot, hit this plate. You want to attack that side of him, attack that plate. You want to affect this side of him, attack that plate. So what's happening? Probably we're not getting our hands on. We're not punching them. We're not being long and strong when we're going. We're not getting good separation. Nobody's going to reach you. And I'm trying to reach you this way, and you're attacking that chest plate. I can't get my hip around. And so we got to make sure that we're in a proper stance. Man hand stands down. Now what's going to punch that chest plate? Okay, this is a weird shoulder pad, all right? But that's the punch plate. What's going to punch that chest plate when I'm in my stance? My striker is. My striker is. Okay? Do we lead with our elbow? Do our elbows flare? Do we not even punch with our hands? As long as I got that chest plate and I work my hat and hip in the gap, big dog, and I'm playing that 45 drive, I'm right here, or really right here, right? So how can he reach me? He can't reach me if I'm punching the side where I want to go. Okay, that's important. So my question to you is, how are your hands? Do you have good hands? Are you punching that guy's, I'm right here, playing deep hand, got my left hand down like this, and I got my striker up and ready in my stance, and boom, I'm punching his chest plate, and I'm working my hips and feet and my hat in the gap, and I'm getting separation. I'm doing that. I got everything inside of me because I'm keeping my outside leverage. I got gap leverage. How do you know you got gap leverage? Where's your hat? Where's your hip? Where's your hat? Where's your hip? If my hat and hip are in the gap, then I got contained. Okay? Is my hat and hip head up over the lineman? I lost it. I lost contained. All right, coach, what do? I got them locked out. I got my hat and hip in the gap. What do? You rip through his arm. Now that you have your hat and hip in the gap, you rip through his arm. You punch the cloud. And when you punch the cloud and take a vertical step, now you sit him down. Or you sit yourself down. You sit right there and set a point. So I'm shocking. I'm getting good separation. I rip through his arm and I set a point. And I'm looking inside right there. Okay? So your feet work. Your feet work. So we talked about stance. That's important. Make sure you're in the right stance if it's a three-point stand. Man, hand down. Okay? Your hands. Make sure you shoot your hands. And make sure you keep the thing that actually is going to reach you. You punch that and you lock that out. Okay? So your hands are important. But your feet work. Your feet work is very important. Now here's where guys get reached. Reason why guys get reached, this is a big one, is that this guy, there are different ways off of the tackle is reached. So I teach my NFL guys that I work with and college guys to reach a different way. We're not always trying to seal on a reach. Sometimes we angle and rip our reach. So there are different ways you reach, right? A lot of times this guy's going this way, and because we're not reading the L of the shoulder pad, we step that way. We're stepping straight, and he's taking an angle. Of course you're going to get reached. Okay, what made you step straight and he's reaching you? Did you not see your point of attack? Did you not see him trying to reach you? Did you not see him get on an angle? Were you paying attention to here? Were you looking in the backfield? Were you looking at something else? Right? What were you looking at to not see him take that angle to reach you or try to seal you on that reach? What were you doing? So you have to focus on your point of attack. Now watch this. As soon as you see, if you can see that L, read the letter, read the L, read the letter, read the L. Don't look at the knee, big dog. Some people coach that. If that works for you, fine. The problem is the knee is very far away from the chest plate surface. I want you to look where you're going to strike. The L is really close to the chest plate. So when I'm looking at the L and I'm seeing him reach me, I'm supposed to replace my foot, all right? Kind of hard for me to show you right now. I'm going to show you as best I can on the board. So let's say this is my right foot and that's my left foot, okay? That's my right foot and that's my left foot. I kind of have my feet like mid-foot or heel to toe ratio, however you want to do it. So normally, if it's a base, I'm going to go straight. So I'm going to go back foot always first, right? 1, 2, 1. That's what I'm going to do. If it's a base, I'm going 1, 2, boom, boom. That's what that is. But if this offensive lineman is reaching me, do I take the same steps as if he was coming on a base or trying to kick me out? You don't want to do that, all right? If you see this offensive lineman trying to reach, you see him trying to reach you, he's trying to get outside of you, what steps do I take? Well, 1, 2, okay, 1, 2. In other words, you replace the front foot and you get your hat and hip in the gap. You got to fight for leverage. You got to fight like it's nobody's business for leverage because you've got to turn everything back inside. So that's what happens. Why? Go back and watch your film. When you're seeing that guy trying to reach you, are you going 1, 2, or are you going 1, 2? So you war with your feet, and you fight with your hands. You could be fighting with your hands and not properly warring with your feet. And I guarantee you go back and watch that film, and you check your footwork, and I promise you, you're probably going straight, and he is going to your outside hip and shoulder. So how do I keep contained, coach? In the three-point stance, make sure you have the proper stance. Make sure you're playing with good hands. Make sure that you have proper feet mechanics that keeps you outside, and punch his chest plate. Punch it. Elbows in, thumbs up, punch with the heel of your palm. Be long where you're going, and make sure you keep contained. Keep your hat and hip in the gap. Don't get reached. All right? And if you feel like he's reaching you and he's stronger than you, snatch him inside, okay? Or immediately rip right now and set a point. Make that running back cut back inside to your backers, or make him bubble, because now that you've done all the right things with your feet, and you've done all the right things with your hands, you got a good stance, right? And here you are, and he's trying to reach you, but because you took the proper, do this again. He's trying to reach you, and you took the proper, here's your long arm here, and here's your positioning. That running back's going to bounce, or he's cut back inside because you sat him down, okay? Now, let me just say this one little thing. Coach, he was quicker than me, and he kind of got nose to nose on me, right? So I was here, and I did a good job of going out. However, he did a good job of actually getting to my outside shoulder, and now we're like this. Okay, that's my nose, and that's his nose. Let me say something to you. If this is where you are, and both of you, he came here, and it was a nice little stalemate, and you did really good with your feet, this is what you do. Don't keep trying to get outside. What do? You push him vertical. Start just driving him vertical, okay? Create a wall. You get what I'm saying? So, for example, if you got the center and you got the guard, and here's the tackle, and as an end, you were getting reached, but you did a good job of trying to get outside, and you're pushing him vertical like that. Now, set a wall right there, knock him back, that running back has to cut inside now. That's still a pretty good job. You may not actually be outside of him, but because he did a good job of getting outside and so did you, this is where you now have to set him back and push vertical. Can't keep going this way at this point, because like I said, that's going to just turn into him just running downhill. You've got to now at some point stick your feet in the ground, start pushing vertical, make that running back make a decision, is what I would tell you to do. So you got to know that. Now also know that if you do a really good job of getting outside of him, this offensive tackle, that turns into a kick out for him. It's because you got contained, He's going to try to reach you. If he can't reach you, he's going to kick you out. Be ready for that. Be ready to set a point and squeeze, okay? Those are a little couple tips. It's a lot of detail. However, something that you got to rep and do, but it always starts in your stance. It always starts with your hand. Leads to your hands. A good stance, most of the time, leads to great hand. And your feet mechanics after that are going to place your hips where they need to be, because you are where your hips are. You are where your hips are. Your hips are in front of that lineman, you are in front of that lineman. If your hips are foot to field outside of that lineman, then you are outside of that lineman. Check your hips, where are they? Get your hips in the gap, you're in the gap. All right, at that point, you rip through his arm, you set a point, turn everything back inside. And that would be my answer to that. Now, if you ask me 2-point stand, that's a different answer when it comes to the feet mechanics of that, because they're different when you're in a 2-point stance, okay? Very, very, very good question. All right. How do I read a screenplay? Good question. So with a screenplay, you got to watch film. It's going to start with personnel. What do they line up when they run screen? You know, do they have a bunch over there? Do they run it out of, double doubles? Do they run it out of spread slots, the slots off the line, all that kind of stuff? Does running back slip out and they give it to him? There are all kind of creative screens. Like, you got some great offensive coordinators that run some great screens. However, that's pre-snap read. That lineman is going to tell you. And so they run a screen so well now to where, you see offensive lineman, he actually will kick, and they did this to me in college. They're kicking, and they would actually club me by because I was so aggressive on my pass rush that they'd use my aggression, kick, and club, But at that point, I had to learn to put on the brakes and get back downhill. We saw a lot of cross the field screens, right? And so when I read screen, I would stick my foot down and get back down because I was hoping that running back would come back across the field. That's how I was taught, okay? However, it's a little different. Somebody's got to keep going at that quarterback. Somebody's got to make that quarterback throw that ball. Somebody's got to put pressure on him, make him throw off the wrong foot, make him bubble, make him feel threatened, make him maybe throw it a little early. So everybody does not need to go back on the screen, all right? That guy who's hopefully play side to that quarterback, he needs to put pressure on that quarterback, make him drop back and make him kind of miscalculate how far he is according to what that receiver is. Maybe he can throw it short. He needs to be pressured right here. Sometimes they let you go, right? One guy needs to come, other guy needs to pursue. Okay, that screenplay is that pursuit play. Used to be one of my favorite plays to deal with as a D lineman because the running back thinks I'm going to just sit there and be a fat boy and not actually pursue the ball. I was going to knock somebody out. You know what I'm saying? I put my foot in the dirt and I'm hunting. He don't see me and I'm coming. He doing all this juking and the corners got in front of him. He juking, the linebacker scraping, he juking, and he had no idea. Big dog back there hungry, and I'm going to go eat. You know what I'm saying? So that was me. I saw screen, boom. I played 3 technique, stuck my foot in the dirt, and I said, let's go eat. And I'm just ding, ding, ding. I'm running, I'm blazing, and he had no clue. Wow, not hit him, because he didn't expect me. Those screens are great opportunities for you to show how hungry you are. They're great opportunities for you to show your pursuit, and I'm going to be the first lineman over there on that screen. I don't care if I got to run you all the way down to the goal line. Okay, I'm going to let my defense live for another play. I'm going to make that tackle. I don't quit. Those colleges love, NFL coaches love to see big boys run and pursue. Those screens are great opportunities for me, right? Now, what you don't want to do, you don't want to run behind somebody. If you already got a dog in front of you, run on side of him. He got that lane, you pick another lane, and you pursue. That's just pursuit angles. That stuff helps, all right? You don't want to run behind nobody. You want to pick your pursuit lane. You want to get going, all right? You don't want to go where the ball is. You want to go where the ball's going to go. That's what you want. And make that guy throw the ball. D tackles, get going. You understand? If the defensive backs and linebackers doing their job, that receiver is going to try to cut back across or try to, if he's smart, he's going to push to the sideline, get out of bounce. If he cut back across, eat that up, man. That is you, all right? So to answer that question fully, I'll have to see what kind of screens they're running. But when it comes to the fundamentals of that, get going. Put your foot down, take off, go pursue, go make a play, go eat. show that you're not a guy that it has to be in front of you. You got to go find work, and that's how you deal with that, okay? That's how we'll deal with a screen. All right, what does 1 tech, 2 tech, 3 tech, and all that stuff mean? All right, really good question. And again, I talk about this in detail on my site, Big Dawg Football, but I'm gonna just kind of mention this really quickly because I respect your question. I want to make sure I answer everything, okay? Now, this is going to change depending on your defensive coordinator, okay, and how they see this. But fundamentally, let's talk about it. Evens. Oh, I missed one. Okay, evens is head up. Okay, all the evens are head up. Okay, so for example, 0. 0 means you're head up over the center. What is that? It's going to be 2. What is that? It's going to be 4. And that's going to be 6. Like I said, some people may have that differently, but that's always been. So evens are head up in this regard. They're head up. Okay. Outsides are odds. Outside shoulders are odds. So what am I saying? So head up. That was a 0. That was a 2. That was a 4, and that was a 6. Right? Your nose to nose. That's his nose. Your foot to foot. Head up with the guy. Those are your evens. My odds. Okay. That's why I call that a 1. Some people call this a 1. Hey, that's okay. That's totally fine. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that's what they call it. Because you're going to see it's going to be pretty consistent. 1. So that's a 1. Outside shade. What's that? That's a 3. Okay, like outside shade right there. That means you need to be here. That's his nose, and that's yours. You get what I'm saying? So you are now to his outside shade. Okay, what is this then? That's a 5. Okay, now here's where it gets a little funky. When I was in college, we called that a 9. Okay, or some people may call that a 7. That's fine. You know what I mean? It's still an odd number. It is an odd number. That's outside shoulder. Okay, now, if that's the case, what's inside? 2 high, 2 inside, 4 inside. Some people call this, some schools call this a 7, or they call that a 7. I honestly like to keep it consistent, so therefore I just call it a 6I. Just 6, see, right? 2I, 4I, 6I, 1, 3, 5, 7, or 1, 3, 5, 9. You ever watch an NFL game and they'll say, oh, he was in a wide 9, right? He wasn't in a 9, he was in a wide 9. That means that defensive end was really wide and he came off the edge. Now all the time I had a hard time with him because of his leverage or his stance, okay? So that's what this is talking about when you say 0, 1, 3, 5, and all that stuff. And what's important about this is remember and go back and watch what I said earlier in the video, your alignment is your assignment. So what are you saying? So if my coach puts me in let's do this real quick. If my coach puts me in a 2, erase, I'm gonna keep the numbers, I'm gonna erase all that. If he puts me as a D tackle, he puts me in a 2. That's my alignment. But what's my assignment? My assignment is I am 2 gapping. Most of the time, that's what that means. Most of the time, not all the time, most of the time. So I'm punching that guy, I'm in a 2, and I got either the A gap or B gap. I'm 2 gapping. My coach wants me to 2 gap. Okay? So my alignment tells me my assignment. They may want you to be in remember this is a 2. He's in a 2. They may want you to be in a 2 and shoot A, shoot B. Okay? That's fine. But again, that's my alignment. And coach says it might be some kind of blitz with the backer. So I'm going to attack the B gap. I'm going to attack the A gap. But there's a certain way you got to do it. You don't want to just go in there crazy without any mechanics. But that's where you are. That's your alignment, and that's what you're attacking. All right? And so that's why it's important to know, coach, what do you mean by 5 and 3I and 4I and stuff? What that tells me, that's going to tell me what to do. That's going to tell me how to line up my stance, my proper stance. That's going to tell me how to attack what I need to attack. So that's a really important question. That's what all that stuff means, okay? All right, Mike, appreciate your question. Okay, next question. I'm a 6 foot 210 guy. Do you think I'm good size for DN? All right, football beast. I honestly can't answer that question. Okay, the question I want to ask you is not how big is the dog in the fight, but how big is the fight in the dog. I want you to think about that. How big is your fight? I don't know that answer. Okay? I know a defensive end right now that I played with against in high school. Okay, he's a great DN. I played against him, Elvis Dumerville. Elvis Dumerville, I don't know if he's 6 feet. It doesn't matter. That boy can play. He's strong, and he's got great fight, and has done very well. You know, be careful about just watching ESPN and the only people you see is who they talk about. Oh, this guy's 6'6" and he's 6'5" and he has long arms and all that kind of stuff. Man, listen, you know, when I begin to understand the mechanics and being a tactician and being skilled at what I did, when I learned that and it took me time, I didn't care how tall you was, bro. I did not care, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized it wasn't about how big you were. It was about my points of attack. My point, I can deal with a point. A point ain't but that big. You understand what I'm saying? And so when I realized whether I'm 6 feet, whether I'm 6'2", whether I'm 6'5", does not matter. I'm going just like chopping down a tree, right? I'm chopping down this big old tall tree, and I'm picking a specific spot, and I'm still hitting that same spot. And I'm being strategic. I said, what I do? Big dog, that tree's gonna come down. You understand? I don't care how tall that tree is. My point of attack, boom, is the same, boom, and I'm gonna knock you down. Now, your goal is to show them that 6 feet 210 is gonna get the job done. That's your goal. All right, it's for them to say, well, most of the time we look for 6'6" in, we look for 6'7" in, but God, this guy's 6 feet 210. He's getting the job done. Man, his fight is huge. That's your job. That's what you do. I just don't want to hear guys say, I'm not big enough. And I believe that dumb jump for a while until I realized this all I got. What am I supposed to do, right? I'm going to use what I have to be successful. And then I realized that this is all I needed. You understand? So to me, that's important. That's a really good question. But, whether you're 6 feet, whether you 6'1", 6'5", it's all about what you have here. I know guys play football with no legs, right? You've seen that. It's just whatever you got, learn to use what you have. All right, really good question. James, what's up, baby? I see you. Good to see you, bro. Love you. I will play at the end. Oh, I see. Let me just answer that question. Okay. Let me get another question here before we get going. I play DN, and my coach always puts me head up with DN, tight end. Sorry. Okay, that's fine. Does he want you to contain? Does he want you to two gap? Okay, he's probably asking you to two gap. If you're head up and he wants you to be head up over that tight end, which is in a 6, right? So he probably wants you to punch and peek and play. Is probably what he wants you to do, as opposed to, containing. Now, if he wants you to contain from head up, then you may line up head up, but you better get going. You got to go. You got to get outside. Now, I'm not saying put it vertical. I should have did it this way. Set a point right there and turn everything back inside. Okay, but if he has you head up, it's because he wants you to probably punch him and then work outside. Okay. Any tips? Appreciate your question. Any tips for undersized defensive end? It's kind of what I just said. And what I would tell you is the longer you stay on offensive lineman, the stronger they get. Okay? Why? Because they're not looking to tackle nobody. You are their responsibility. You are their job. So they're not looking to, always climb to the second level, especially if it's a one-on-one. You got him covered. So you better learn to get on and off of that guy. And sometimes don't even punch him. Sometimes I used to mix my game up a little bit on the run, where I would sometimes quick swim him. punch him, quick swim him, punch him, quick swim. I'd always make sure he can't track me or trace me. I would always change the rhythm of what I did and my points of attack. I would change it. And so when he can't track you and trace you, it makes him think more, and it makes him play a little slower, and it makes you play a little quicker, a little bit stronger. And so leverage is always huge when it comes to being an undersized guy, but also being a tactician and being very smart and make sure he can't track what you're doing, because you're constantly changing your what you do at the line of scrimmage. But I tell you, don't stay on those guys long. Get on and get off if you're undersized. Be smart, play to your strengths. The more you know who you are, the more you can seize your environment, the more you can conquer the things around you when you know who you are. Okay, he's important, but find out who you are first. You'll deal with what's in front of you. I don't have that long. I'm gonna try to get as many more questions as I can. Appreciate your questions. Let's see, more questions. We got some crazy comments, but I'm all about helping people get better. Okay. Any tips for undersized right tackle? A right D tackle? I would probably say be quicker than them. I would say sometimes there are different ways that you can play. You got different kinds of D tackles, right? You got those big guys that just clog up a gap. You got those big guys that just lock out and stay there, and that's their type. That's what they do. But you have those guys that are penetrators. You got those guys that are quicker, and they play with good leverage and things like that. You got to figure out what type of D tackle you are. Are you a guy that stands there and lock guys out and punches guys? Or are you those guys that's quick off the ball and you get into the in between the hip of the lineman before they get anything going? What kind of player are you? Play to your strengths. You understand? If he's bigger than you, be stronger than you, be quicker than him. If he's quicker than you, be stronger and smarter than him. You understand? Play to your strengths and know what you're good at and play to that. That's all you can do. Worry about what you can control, and that is yourself, right? So there are different things you can do by changing your alignment. There are different things you can do by changing what stance you get in and where you step and where you know he's going to step, right? There are different strategic things that you can do to be successful and productive, right? However, you got to be a tactician. We can't just line up and let them pound on us all game. Change what you're trying to do. Here's a good one, all right? And I think this might be my last one. So, for example, I was just talking with another coach out in Alaska, and I appreciate him giving me a call and us chatting about this. And we were talking about kind of the same thing you're saying, undersized 3 technique, a D tackle. What do I do? Okay, so if you are here and this guy, they're coming down on you like this, and you're getting washed by that tackle, and you're having a hard time with that. You're undersized D tackle, and you're getting washed. Well, something to think about, make an adjustment. He's standing you up, and he's washing you down. Well, what if you're a little bit smarter? What if now, because remember, your gap is the B gap, what if you are in a 4-eye, you still have the B gap, and now he can't wash you down. He doesn't have that angle to punch you on the hip, but he comes down here, and then now he's going to have a hard time trying to wash you out because now you're in a better position. If you can punch the tackle and keep on the line, you still have your B gap. Okay, now that's a whole different scenario, only or because you just changed your alignment from a 3 to a 4-eye. Know your smaller D tackle, they don't have that tackle coming down on you, and that running back is running downhill. But you punched the tackle, kept him on the line, the guard's trying to help, now that running back's got a bubble or cut back. All you did was change your alignment. So when you're smarter that way, okay, you can make good decisions and make better plays. All right, so that's still the same gap, doesn't change anything, but you're smarter by changing your alignment. All right. I'm a sophomore. I've been 200 pounds. I play varsity. Will I be able to dominate over heavier guys at the end? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because go and watch my video on BigDawgFootball.com, 4 points of leverage. That's gonna answer that question. Absolutely, you can do whatever you want to do. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something that not a lot of people know. And listen, I'm doing this because I appreciate, again, all of my, subscribers, and I appreciate those that do support. And if this doesn't help you, that's okay. There are a lot of good D-line coaches out there, but I know I got tons of people that's part of the Big Dawg Football community, Five Star Linemen Academy. I appreciate all of you. I'm gonna tell you something I already told a lot of people. When I played football, I was a 400 plus bencher. All right, I benched over 400 pounds. My senior year of high school, I tore my pec. It's still torn, completely tore my pec. Let me be honest with you, Big Dawg. I could not bench the bar. I tell you, my pec was swollen like a little small little cantaloupe. It was huge. My dad was mad. He asked me what I did. I ain't know nothing about no weights. All I did was bench all day long, and I was doing negatives, right? Kind of doing eccentric work. I ain't know nothing about that stuff, okay? But I wanted to try it. So I'm doing eccentric work. I'm doing negatives, and my pec popped, completely tore. And I couldn't bench the bar. You talking about depressed, you talking about angry, you talking about sad, you name it. I mean, how do you go from benching over 400 pounds, and not for a max, a couple of times, boom, boom. And then you can't bench the bar, Big Dawg, right? And so what do? Do I quit? Do I say, oh, because I can't bench over 400 pounds anymore, I guess I can't play football? It took everything in me. Because I love the game so much, I said, I got to find a way to play. And even still, it's not where I wanted to be. But I couldn't bench the bar, all right? What I had to do, I had to find a way to strengthen every muscle around it. I had to learn how to play with really good technique. And people that stood across from me didn't know how much I benched. They didn't know I couldn't bench the bar. All they knew that they was going against an angry, and not in a bad way, but a guy that wanted to get out of where I was to have a better life, to be successful at what I did. That's what was planned. My dog, my attitude, my appetite was there, and I wanted to play and I wanted to be successful. But everybody across from me benched more than I did. But they didn't play as hard as I did. Neither did they want as much as I did. But I found a way to still be an All-American Divas at end coming out of high school, right? And even still, I didn't know I was an All-American until towards the end of the season. But I played really well, and I didn't know what you guys know. You guys out there, you know a lot of technique. There's so many good coaches out there, so much resources out there for you to be successful. I did not have YouTube. You understand? I didn't have all of that stuff, but my attitude and my desire to be successful was there. And I didn't have everything I needed. I couldn't bench the bar. I got it up to maybe 135, close to 225. I never got it back up to 400 pounds. Yet still, I played Division I football and I played a little professional football. It didn't matter what I could bench or couldn't bench. You understand that? It's really that. Your bench press is not going to determine whether you're going to be good or not. It has nothing to do with that. It all has to do with this simple thing. What do you want? If you want to be successful, who is going to stop you but you? That's really it. You understand that? I'm not going to say, oh, you only bench 200 pounds. Oh man, good luck. No, I'm going to tell you, bring that 200-pound bench press here, and let's figure out how to work with that. Yeah, keep getting stronger. That's not going to tell me whether you can't be good or not. You understand what I'm saying? It's all about the size of the fight and the dog. And to me, that's important. Dog, driven attitude wills greatness. All right, that's what it's about. That's why they call me Big Dawg. So we're out of time here. If you felt like you enjoyed this and this was helpful, comment. Appreciate all the people that came to watch, and we touched on, really good questions, good topics, all things I think that's important to be successful as a defensive lineman, as a pass rusher. I even got some linebacker questions from Sean there. Appreciate that question. Good to see you, brother. Or good to hear from you. But listen, once again, thank you so much from all those that support, from all those that tune in to Big Dawg Football or Five Star Linemen Academy's YouTube site. Man, we're very appreciative. We read your comments. We see your comments. And we really appreciate you. Thank you for helping us to get to 10,000 plus subscribers. We could not have done it without your support. We could not have done it without you clicking and watching. And if you're not a subscriber, click and subscribe. We got tons more things coming. But also go to bigdawgfootball.com, www.bigdawgfootball.com, and we put loads of content. We put extended content on there. We're going to begin to offer, we actually do have digital sessions, cyber sessions for our subscribers with bigdawgfootball.com. We want to take the thing to another level. It is time to teach our linemen that they are skills. They are the skills. To be able to deal with a guy an inch, some inches away from you takes great skill. And that's what our mission is, to make sure that you are the best defensive lineman, the best nose tackle, defensive end, outside backer, linebacker, that you are the best lineman you can be, rusher you can be. And we're going to make sure you do that here at Five Star Linemen Academy, right here at Big Dawg Football. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to bigdawgfootball.com. Ask questions, leave comments, subscribe on my YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys. Hey, 5 Stars Elite, you know what time it is. Put your hands in the dirt and let's go to work. See you soon, guys.